This is my NLP project for text summarization for Bible verses and Bible sections. So to start off with an introduction, so the goal of my project was to involve taking certain sections of the Bible and generating an overall summary using NLP and AI to leverage natural language processing and AI to get a concise and interpretive summaries of the Bible that made sense for personal devotions as well as getting overall summaries that were easily accessible to most people. So why I went with this was because Bible passages are rich in meaning, but can oftentimes be lengthy or complex for people either starting out just learning about the Bible or for those that have been reading for a while but are still unsure of what they're supposed to take away from certain verses. So my solution was to come up with AI summarization to extract key themes and make insights accessible without oversimplifying the messages that were in them. Some of the key foundations that I had was, as I mentioned, NLP, which is for the field of AI to analyze human language and get things like summarization by extracting the text, and using that by copying key sentences and generating new interpretations from those words. So some of the challenges that I ran into was balancing accuracy with theological sensitivities, making sure that I could actually get the right meaning of the verses without actually losing them. Because sometimes when I would use the AI to actually generate summarizations, they would give us a result that would be nowhere near what the overall general consensus of what the text should be talking about. And handling long chapters with multilingual text was also a struggle because it was mostly used to just trying to see one language, and then when it would switch or be in a different version, then it would have a hard time trying to pin down the exact idea of what was going on. Some of the key findings that I found was that most NLP models that I was looking at focus on the news and not spiritual themes. So they wouldn't actually delve into the actual like true messages that was being going on. It was more surface level as to what was trying to be interpreted. And it also had a lack, as I mentioned, of multilingual scripture analysis, so for Hebrew, Greek. And so my solution that I had was a hybrid extractive as well as the abstractive approach. And these were some of the processes that I used when using NLP to actually get those text summarizations. So some of the interesting outcomes that I was able to get was AI generated nuance. So the model identified subtle theme links that would be throughout certain books and verses. So whenever light was mentioned in Genesis 1, it was able to call back to that. When John 1, it analyzed John 1, it was able to find certain connections between verses, as well as detected repeated motifs like covenant, which was found across multiple books, as I took different books from all different across the Bible from the Old Testament and New Testament. Because of this, it actually gave me some efficiency gains. So I was able to get a summarized entire chapters of the Bible 10 times faster than a manual analysis going through each line, just because of how much data it can take in and how quickly it could process it better than a human could. And I was able to get around 80% accuracy in matching expert theological summaries, so more generalized ideas of what the verses were speaking about. I was able to get about an 80% connection rate to see how close they actually were to those. So in conclusion, I was able to use a hybrid NLP approach to get those text summarizations and combine extraction as well to get generation for accurate and insightful summaries. I was able to use theological fine-tuning to customize models to capture spiritual themes and not just surface level ideals, as well as using a human AI collaboration to maintain expert oversight for the doctrinal accuracy and to make sure that none of the ideas and themes that we're getting across didn't get diluted and they weren't over exaggerated as well in the AI. And because of that, my results were able to get around an 80% accuracy and be 10 times faster than a manual analysis. And that is everything that I was working on for this project. And thank you for listening.